a slogan for the podcast that would be something catchy. What do you think, Arti?
Oh, no, it's like Rogan slogan.
Rogan slogan, Rogan slogan.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, how do you say the podcast for creative minds in Russian?
Without dumpling.
Подкаст для креативных умов.
Ooh,
Артизанская впадина.
yeah.
Подкаст для креативных. Well, exactly what you asked me to say.
Yeah, exactly.
We hope.
And you delivered. All right. In the studio today, along with Arti's Dumplings, sponsored by. If you hear some delicious chewing in the background, we have Arti, our sound guy. He's right here. Sound effects, the man. We got Evan McClimans, a welder fabricator by trade for the past 15 years. Also an instructor, ex-instructor. Recently,
Very ex-instructor.
Very ex-instructor with a big V. Recently began making the switch away from commercial welding and instruction to artistic sculpting and welding.
Yep.
Fantastic trade. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Welding. Well, it's interesting. I got into it from, I used to be sort of a ranch hand for this guy that had a lot of extra money. And one day he asked me if I knew how to weld. And I said, I don't know. I've never even done it. He goes, well, come here. You're going to learn today. And I had on a T-shirt and shorts and was wearing like hockey goggles and some cheapo carpenter gloves and was out there getting burned to death. But I fell in love with it. And 15 years later, I ended up with a degree and, you know, a way to fix stuff. And I like it. You know, it's not doctor money, but, you know, the art thing kind of came from after I became an ex-instructor. I found myself trying to figure out what to do in Galveston. How do I make money? Because I'm not a very good server, and I've never bartended. So
what was your first welding job? Like, what was the first thing?
my first welding job, for real, was I used to work for this company called Gibraltar in Burnett, Texas, and
Like the cymbal company?
No, they built the cable that goes down the highway. It was like the 3 cables that keeps cars from driving on the opposite side of the highway.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I made the little cans that they cemented into the ground and $8 an hour. It was impressively low.
Oh, geez, for welding, that's crazy.
Yeah, but that was in Austin when I was going to school for being a welder, and once I got my degree, I moved to Conroe to take care of my mom, and she got sick, so one day I was looking for a job, and the guy was like, you ever thought about teaching? And all of a sudden I'm the director of Lone Star College's welding program, and did a lot for them. And an opportunity to come to Galveston presented itself, and I came down here to be a teacher, and I loved it. And then
So the teaching job at GC is what brought you to the island in the first place?
yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah, and still in love with the island, not in love with, you know, the former employment. Whatever, things happen.
Well, so after the end of teaching, what was the thing that basically gave you the idea to, well, maybe I can make some art, maybe I can make some artist money, and maybe I don't have to do the commercial jobs, and I could actually have fun with it?
I think it was I was really hungry. You know, I wasn't really prepared to not have the job that I thought I was going to have. So I was just sitting there one day and how do I just start making stuff? Maybe I could just sell some stuff. So I made some planter boxes, and then I made some neat little trinket things, and I actually I started MadeWell about that time with a good friend of mine, Surrender, and we made a run for it, and it just worked out better than I did on my own kind of thing. He's busy with his career, and you know I had different ideas for things, so it just worked out better than, you know, he went his way and I went mine. I'm still best friends, so
Yeah. Well, is that still the name you're running with? Like, it's still MadeWell?
still MadeWell, still like the logo and everything came with it. And art came along. This weirdly, I was looking at a friend of mine, my island mom that works at the Naked Mermaid, Waddell, was kind enough to put up a piece of art that I had made, this goofy little turtle, and it kind of really blew up from there. And then I met a couple of people on the way that inspired some different things, and now it's weird. I was never really much of a. I never thought of myself as an artist, and now I have these things in my head that I obsess over until I make them and build them, and it's people like them. You know, everybody seems to appreciate it. So,
what's been your most favorite piece that you've made recently?
For me, man, I don't know. I like all my Galveston cutouts. I love this island. So,
Is it like the Galveston, is it the cutouts of the actual shape of the island, or is it like lettering? Oh, the shape of the island.
The shape of the island, and polish them and color them, and I'm actually going to try to start working with a local realtor to make little tiny versions of them for her when she sells homes as a gift. And we're going to etch like the address, or not the address, but a little star where their house is on the island, and do little cool things like that. So
that's really cool. Well, that's really cool that you're dipping into places that normal welders wouldn't dip into.
Man,
it's something that's wouldn't thought, because whenever you think of someone being a welder, they're thinking like, oh, we need to do these giant jobs with these pipes and all these things. But you're just like, well, I'm just gonna make some things that are, like for the realtor. That's like, the realtors have their signs that they put in houses. That's something I recently learned about. That's something they have to invest a lot of money in.
It's whatever I can do. I felt more accomplished when people have come and been like, wow, this thing is great. It's really pretty, or whatever they appreciate about this work that I did. And I don't know, it means more to me than anything I've ever gotten from other jobs. So I guess once I found that, I was like, why do anything else? So it's a humble living. Starving artist is a thing. I
feel it. Yeah,
coming off of a career with a contracted check and making your own money is very humbling and frugal existence, but I like it, so I'm happy.
Sweet, yeah. You're staying busy. So you were talking earlier about the Mardi Gras bus going on.
The Mardi Gras. Michael Mandina's got this amazing school bus he converted into a 2-tiered Mardi Gras bus, throwing beads and that whole thing. And I happened to be walking to Mog Coffee one day and saw Becky and Michael sitting there, and they were talking about Mardi Gras stuff and asked me if I'd be willing to help out. And I had some extra material from a job that would work really well for what they were wanting, so I donated a little bit to them and helped them weld everything up. And it's been, we had a lot of fun out there. It was great. A couple of days of welding. I think we still have maybe one more day to work on it, and then, it's solid. It's nice. Whoever's up there is gonna have a good time.
Sweet. What's Arti, you might have some input on this. I've never actually been to the Galveston Mardi Gras.
Well, Galveston, I was actually wanting to ask, are they like changing something with the top floor? Are they just like reinforcement for the safety, or what's going on with the bus?
We built like a VIP section over the driver cab part, so it was just an extension of the stage, really. And then they were talking about having the band up there. I'm not sure if it's India Tigers or not, but I don't know if there wasn't a platform above the driving cab. So, and now the thing is solid.
Sweet, that's dope, man. Because I've heard so much. Like the biggest thing I heard about, or the craziest thing I've heard about Galveston Mardi Gras is like the year before I lived here. Maybe it was the first year I moved here, that they had to bring like riot police to the Strand, and they were throwing like tear gas and shit.
I was teaching when that happened, and I saw the videos the next day because I didn't go. I had to wake up for class or whatever. But I came back the next day, and all my students were like, "Did you hear about the riot and everything? They shut down downtown." And I remember reading about it in the paper, and they said the cops actually did a real good job. They didn't come out and like beat the crap out of anybody or anything.
Well, did they have to bring in their own team, or does Galveston have a SWAT team?
No, Galveston has a SWAT team.
They were ready. At midnight they come clear the street out anyway, but
they kind of prep for it, probably biker rally.
I believe like it's happened the first year. They used to let it run all the way till 2:00, but after that year when the riot happened, they shut down the Mardi Gras at midnight. Same thing with biker rally, because I remember it was past midnight every time, but right now probably people get way too lit. Past midnight.
People get way too lit. That's
maybe that's as far as the permit they paid for will let them party till.
Yeah, if anybody doesn't know about the biker rally in Galveston, just to put it in perspective, there's about 50,000-ish people that live on the island, and then for biker rally weekend, about 400,000 plus bikers make their way to the island and completely dominate.
It's kind of like living in a big blender.
Yeah, you just hear
constantly.
rumbling 24/7. I always think it's funny because they like talk to each other from across the street light. You know,
Yeah.
like vroom, vroom. The one over there is like vroom, vroom. Like you hear like question marks and
It reminds me of that South Park episode.
over there with like they're like making noises.
Yeah, it's the one week of the year when a dentist can act like a tough guy, I guess.
Oh yeah, man, because you see those people wearing all these leathers and you're like intimidated and you talk to them and they're like, hey, blah blah blah, I'm a pastor, and you're like, what? I did not see that coming.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, bikes cost a lot of money, especially some of the ones the one they're riding over there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I feel that. Well, I didn't really understand the amount of like turf and beef that goes on with that.
It's all tough guy stuff.
It's all tough guys.
It's like if it's popular or unpopular opinion, but I would take biker rally crowd over Mardi Gras crowd.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so with Mardi Gras crowd, like I was saying earlier, I don't know much about Mardi Gras crowd, like because I heard Galveston's like number 2 Mardi Gras in the states. As far as like just popping, 'cause I know it's like the similar to biker rally. Like there's a parade downtown and there's one on the seawall.
I'll say that I've worked as a door guy for a couple of places downtown, and between Mardi Gras and biker rally, I throw out more people during Mardi Gras. It's usually drunk old guys, but biker rally this last year, I mean, there's a couple of problems, but it was mostly just too drunk. Mm-hmm. Mardi Gras, biker rally, you gotta remember, it's like a bunch of old guys that are 40 plus with money, and by 10, 30, 11, they're all like, let's go back to the hotel. Yeah. So Mardi Gras is more.
Well, actually, this past year, 2018's biker rally was actually pretty tame compared to a lot of them. Like it was because it's so crazy again that they have an estimated death toll every year.
Who's gonna drive up the?
But only like 2 died, which I mean it's still awful. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I mean that's better because the year before that, 2017, I know it was like 7 or 8. Like it was bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Mardi Gras, I guess. I'm not surprised that'd be shittier just because
it's a younger crowd.
Well, it's a younger crowd and people are coming specifically to get shit faced.
Yeah,
like specifically, that's just what they want to do. So
yeah, and some girl lifts up her shirt and everybody freaks out like they never seen a pair of boobs before.
One of the funniest things.
So funny.
It's funny because my grandma's gonna listen to this and she's gonna know the story I'm talking about. But one time when I was a kid, she used to collect all her beads from Mardi Gras and she'd have them and she had them like in these big glass jars and. I would always play with them as a kid. I pull them out, and then she'd talk about how for some reason it was just a random pep talk after my grandma where she kind of schooled me on how to properly expose yourself during Mardi Gras.
Nice.
And she was like, "Oh no," she's like, "You can tell it's somebody's first time when they lift from the bottom up, but the real way you do it is you pull down from the head hole of the shirt and you pull them out that way. That shows that you really want it." And and by want it, she means the beads.
Way to go, Grandma.
Yeah, way to go. Hey, sometimes Grandma has to teach lessons.
Well, I'm assuming she was talking about like a women's shirt, right? With a like deeper.
Yeah, exactly. If it's a deeper
I'll try to show my titties.
Yeah, exactly, man. If I'm in here, like, what if we're wearing a turtleneck? I mean, I don't know why you're wearing a turtleneck to Mardi Gras. It's kind of pointless, but
I don't want to stretch my shirts out, so I might go from the bottom just to like keep my neck from getting all stretched out.
If you're gonna wear a turtleneck, you really want to beads. You just like rip off the turtle. Yeah, okay.
Hey, honestly, if I'm trying to throw a lot of beads and somebody shows they want it, then they rip the shirt open like Hulk Hogan, and I'm throwing all my beads. All my beads are gone.
I mean,
like, all right, they earned it. Male or female, I don't care. If there's a dude there that really wants some beads and he rips his shirt open, I'm throwing him all my beads.
Nice.
Yeah,
we're gonna look for Devlyn in the crowd, or on the bus if we're gonna be on the bus.
Well, speaking of Galveston events, we got a art walk coming up. Got some pieces lined up.
Oh,
gonna have the gallery open.
Man, I'm trying. So I'm trying to. There's talks about turning Senpai into an art gallery. We're working on some things to maybe someday get on Art Walk, but 25th's not really known for being part of Art Walk. So
yeah,
some people are trying. Save 1900 has a gallery in there, and I know that Devil in the Deep does an art part, and I don't have anything really ready for Art Walk this time around. I've been kind of just busy doing work to pay the bills, but here pretty soon I'm setting aside some time to just make enough pieces to have like an actual collection. Because that's what I've found is the hard part is to like right now it's all made to order kind of stuff. So
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I've been caught up making shoes, so I haven't really made any pieces. I actually gave out all the rest of my my art show I had for a couple art walks ago, or just for 2018 in general. I just gave them all to family for Christmas because one, money was tight, and two, I think that's more of a meaningful. It's like I put hours of my life into this. That's worth more than money. So for your show, then, if you're gonna build one up, do you have like a theme, or are you gonna still go with like a nautical kind
Man,
of
I've been
theme?
doing a nautical thing for a long time. It sells fast. I mean, everybody likes
On the
sea
island,
turtles.
yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like, though, being a new artist,
Yeah.
I'm still sort of working out this medium that I've got and I can do with it, and I'm learning every day. As far as a theme goes, I kind of want to try to do some weird stuff. I've had a DNA helix.
That's dope.
Something that's been on the back of my mind a lot, and some odd sort of postmodern / weird looking whatever.
Some cool looking, like really cool 3D looking stuff.
Yeah,
rad.
like sculpture, getting into that instead of wall pieces, like freestanding things, a little more.
Something you have to walk all the way around.
Yeah, I made for Christmas. I punched out a whole bunch of these little leaves that you could put on a keychain or whatever, and the intent for those was to. Some friends of mine got hurt downtown, and they're handy little. They're not very ominous looking things to have on your keychain, but you can also scoop an eyeball out with them if you want to. So
Yeah.
I gave those out to a bunch of girls downtown, and I still have a bunch. I was planning on selling them. I ended up giving most of them away, and it was my Christmas gift to.
See, that's
people.
super cool though, man. That goes back on what I was saying about just as a welder, you're finding just different things to do that are just out of the norm, but people didn't really think about being useful. But that's incredibly useful. Like if you had your own kind of like keychain, like keychain protection instrument, like you said, whatever that is, or like have you ever gotten into or thought about doing any kind of like casting or blacksmithing? Like
my first class I ever took was a blacksmithing class as far as my welding degree was concerned. But when I was in school, after the semester was over, they filled up so fast I could only take 2 classes. So I had an art metals teacher and I had a welding teacher. I asked them both. I like doing both of these. I don't know which way to go. And both of them said, do you want to make money or do you want to be happy? So,
the question of life.
I said, well, I'm still in school trying to get this degree right now. I kind of want to make money. And both of them like, be a welder. So now those words never ring more true, but I still do welding jobs. I mean, it does pay the bills. I have some really great clients out here on the island that keep me pretty busy, and the Historical Foundation is amazing. They've really given me a lot of work, and they've been patient with me on a lot of things, and the Railroad Museum. So I really like the clients that I do have been phenomenal. I've gotten very fortunate in that regard that so far, everybody I've worked with it's worked out really well. So everybody's been happy with the jobs that got done, and so I'm blessed in that regard. But I definitely would prefer to just sit in my shop and make cool looking stuff all day.
That's cool. When you work towards it, and you stand behind what you got, and plus, your regular commercial work, that would be, but you're going through some good clients with good connections, and plus you probably can learn some extra things, that's why I like having, even if it's like a side gig that I'm doing just for the money, it's also used as like a learning experience. It's like, it's keeping you on your toes, because, being your own boss for a while, you can get too comfortable, and doing something to where that you're not in control of is a good refresher and a good thing to keep you up. I always enjoy doing something like that every now and then.
Being broke.
being
always
broke is the motivator.
Yeah,
and hungry. Being hungry is definitely a good way to stay working. Like, I don't know how I haven't figured out how to be lazy and continue to have the things that I want. I just haven't figured. I would love to figure that out, but nobody's.
Well, it just doesn't go hand in hand, especially if you're looking for the satisfaction out of it, because like there's having things, but then there's like appreciating the things you have, So I feel like whenever I put some work into it, and like a lot of work into it, the more work I put into it, and the longer I have to wait for something because I'm working for it, just the better it is once I finally get it.
I think I just might be old and tired.
Yeah,
but it is very rewarding. I mean, when people, you make some incredible stuff, and people look at it and go, "Wow!" I don't know. To me, I get more goosebumps from that than anything else, and I feel like if you find that,
that's my favorite part.
Keep doing it. If whatever you do, the result somehow gives you goosebumps, then I think you found something that you should do with your life. So hopefully it's productive and benefits society. But
yeah. Well, I mean, I have a lot of respect for what you do, just because I'm more so in like the 2D, like drawing, and I mean, I have my sculpture back there. I made out of foam that I've been working on for like 2.5 years. I need to finish that thing. Like the foam's getting old; it's all dark yellow and everything. It's terrible.
Appreciate it though.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Well, since like sculpture is something that I've been trying to get into, my dad's always been into it. But it's like, I think it's the thing I have the least experience on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the 3D format of things. But that's really cool, because like when I met you, I think you were working at the school.
Yeah.
And then like out of nowhere, like I saw these turtles popping up, and like like the Sharky shark, and like the mermaids and the islands, and like it's coming out really clean, and it's actually a really cool thing to do.
Thanks.
Because because since you said you're doing this new art thing, it shows that like no matter where you're at in life, whatever age you're at, you can start and you can do something, and you can kind of find something you didn't know you had, and that's really cool.
Yeah, when I lost my job as a teacher, I thought I was going to spend my whole life doing that. I was really happy being a teacher. I really liked it. I was good at it. But apparently I'm too mean. So it was taken from me, and at the time, when catastrophe happens, you never really know how to see the bright side of things. But what ended up coming out of that was this whole new path I'm on. And I found myself happier than I ever was being working for the man, so to speak. And now if it doesn't get done, I'm the only one that can argue with myself. So
yeah,
I will say, if you ever strike out on your own, nobody ever told me the healthy dose of anxiety that comes along with trying to run your own business and like, am I gonna get to eat today? So I'm learning how to deal with that. It's gotten better. So I highly recommend people plan it out a little bit more before they jump into their own thing. I just was kind of pushed off the plank, and here's the deep end,
You gotta swim. That's cool though, and it's one of the biggest things I've had to learn just from learning to push myself, because I'm still early in the game. One of the biggest things I've trying to figure out is, because I got problems getting anxious about things, and I'll overthink things, and sometimes I'll overthink things to the point of procrastination where I just don't even do them. Like I think about how long it's going to take so much that I waste a bunch of time.
Forest for the trees.
Yeah. One of the biggest things, like mentors I've been talking to and tell me to do, is just you turn that anxiety into fuel, and you use that to get moving. Just because, man, I heard the other day on the podcast, he was saying, basically, you don't have anything to worry about if you're getting things done, because you're worried about getting the things done. And he's like, if you just stay on your toes and keep moving and keep knocking things out, then you have less things to worry about. And also, and this is the thing I live on, I have a tattoo because of it, but whatever you're afraid of, charge it head on, study it, figure it out. Don't be afraid of it and don't put it off, but look at it, fully understand it, and then go take care of it.
Yep.
And because like me, like I got like an octopus tattooed on my arm, and like a skulls and fire, but it represents that I'm terrified of the ocean, but I've been on a lot of dives for
Good
scuba.
For you.
And I wanted to do that because whenever it was first pitched to me about my dad and my grandfather to go do it, I was terrified, because I was like, no, there's like no way. And it's only because I have a ridiculous imagination, and I'm terrified of like sea monsters and shit. Like I'm not kidding.
It kind of shows up in your art.
Yeah, no, yeah. If you look at my art, like I think I draw big monsters and scary faces, because that's honestly what I'm terrified. When he's looking at that blue abyss and like it's just infinite and anything can come out of it, my imagination goes crazy, and I just see a big octopus Cthulhu face just coming out of there, But it's not gonna happen. But my imagination is really big, so I just like The reason why I like diving, and I'm absolutely terrified before we jump in the water, like anytime. Like I'm just on the boat, we're getting there, we're suiting up, like my feet keep shaking, and like I gotta get my breathing right. Like I usually have to like meditate or something to close my eyes while we're on the boat. It's hard to, when you're bouncing off waves, but once I get in there, man, and you get down about 30 feet and you're just like in the other world, it's just gone, and it feels great, and it feels like I tackled a fear every time I get in there.
Nice.
But that's why I got the tattoo, because I'll always be terrified of the ocean, but remember to chill and just to relax, and everything's gonna be cool.
Nice.
So, but that's actually really cool, man, that you've made the choice to dive into something that's new to you, and you're just learning as you go. That's the best way. And just I guess I could tell you, if there's anything I could say is anytime you fail, man, don't beat yourself up on it. Use it as a lesson and just keep going.
Learn. I think
failure's the best teacher, man, if you pay attention.
I've had an idea on the table for a little while, and because I do like teaching, I've been kind of investigating or looking into the possibility of starting a Saturday art metals class, sort of similar to, I don't know, just put it out there and be like, hey, for X amount of dollars, come in and I'll show you how to do some things.
Man, just to get a ass in a seat, man, I'll definitely come out to that, man, if you want to do something like that.
Yeah, come on with it. I mean, I'm looking into it. There's obviously some waiver forms, like, you know, welding and all the equipment in my shop is... Yeah. There's some learning that has to happen before you just jump in, so...
Definitely gonna need to get a good insurance, because if you're working with metal and fire and sharp objects, someone gets injured,
I wish it could just be something very basic and be like, look, if you get hurt in here, for any reason... on you.
That's what they do in martial arts places. It's like they have their own insurance for themselves, but the insurance is usually like for the employees, for the establishment, and they have a waiver saying, look, you're sparring with somebody and you throw some crazy kick and you miss and you tear your ACL because you threw a crazy kick, that's not our fault.
Right.
Or if you're sparring with somebody and y'all are getting into it and then you piss the other guy off and then he ends up accidentally popping your shoulder out of socket, that's your fault. That's y'all's deal. That has nothing to do with it. You know, that's the best thing about waivers. It's just, but I mean, if you want to do something like that, that'd be super cool.
I'm looking into it. I mean, I'm that space that I've got over there for my shop. I love it.
It's great space, man. It's huge.
Pete and I mean, it used to be Senpai. It will become a new Senpai soon. I just had to sort of get some things lined up, and I don't know. We got some nice ideas, I think, for the future of that place, and I don't know, the idea is just to figure out how to make that space generate an income so that Pete and I can go do whatever he wants to cook, and I want to make art. Yeah. So,
well, man, if y'all if y'all are trying to put together something for making it an art gallery, man, if y'all need any help with that, just let me know.
Hell yeah. No, we
that'd be sick.
We do have some stuff coming up, so as soon as I sell my Jeep, it will be it'll be much easier to pay for it all. So that's the plan.
Sure. Jeep for sale.
Yeah.
Jeep for sale,
yeah. If you want a Patriot SUV, everybody I know that owns a Jeep looks at me funny when I call it.
If you're a true American, you want to be a patriot, you pick up this Patriot car right now, boy.
Here's the first commercial plug.
For the low price of as much as you want.
This is Bill Clinton. You need to go and pick up this pilot and the Patriot. Oh, Monica. Was something else I was going to ask you about, man, was specifically about how you shocked pieces of wood with electricity for the design. So that was something really cool. I'm not, because that was from like your of the turtles, because the turtles were the first thing I saw. You know, whenever I saw the wood and it was like had a really cool like burn to it, but it looked like it was in shock. You know what I mean? Like not in in shock of like a, I don't know, like it got super, I just couldn't tell what it was. But then you were like, oh yeah, I just like zapped that shit. Like how do you zap a piece of wood?
So it's got a really long German name because a German guy figured it out, I guess. But it's called fractal burning. Mm-hmm. And really, all you got to do is get a transformer out of a microwave, like an old one. They still work, and you can plug them in. Some YouTube studying and rewiring, and the trick is to mix this sort of saltwater baking soda mixture and
some crack.
Yeah, basically you soak the wood in crack, and then while it's drying, you put the electrodes on each end through the moisture on top of the wood surface. It burns the electrical pattern into the wood, and a lot of people do this. I mean, it's not an uncommon thing. I don't know too many people. I don't know if anybody on the island.
Do they have like machines specifically for this, or is it like a system where you have to like jerry rig a microphone?
I'm sure if you were electronically inclined, you could probably build like an actual machine that does this, that's professional use. But for me, I just got on Facebook and was like, anybody got a microwave they don't want? And I got 3 of them.
So I actually didn't see what it does to the wood. It's like a weird pattern, or it's like lines on the wood?
It burns into the wood. It looks almost like a tree, or it's odd looking. They're very...
What was the name of the process again?
Fractal wood burning. Yeah, look it up. It's a really neat little process, and it's an easy way to make a regular piece of wood look really crazy. So see how it looks like a tree? It burns in and kind of has like a branchy pattern. And
so that's just that's like a super hot jolt of electricity.
Yeah, it goes really slow though. I mean, it creeps across the wood. So the only thing you can't really do is let it
definitely need
connect.
to do that, like a time lapse of this happening.
Now that I've been doing these videos and I have my own shop, I haven't done fractal in a while, to be honest. But
man, that'd be sick to do with like skateboard decks.
They're doing it already.
I bet they are, bastards.
It's like pretty much like if you ever seen a picture of a person getting hit by a lightning, you have like the same outlines.
Yeah.
So skipping physics a lot. But
I don't know if you want to watch the video, but it goes really slow. It's not a quick thing.
Is that what it looks like? You watch the electricity go through?
No, that's some like epoxy they put in there to make it look blue after the fact.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like, what?
I mean, it probably takes time to like get the water out of there.
Oh, that's what you're talking about with the guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
So it kind of does the same thing to the wood.
If I had a scar like that, it's a tattoo.
Yeah, dude. If I had a scar, I'd probably get it I get the outline or get it added onto, like tattoo. I mean, might as well. I mean, it's there.
I mean, maybe it changes the outline somehow over the time. Maybe that's why. Or maybe he's not into tattoos.
I'm sure getting struck by lightning sucked, but
yeah,
you got that badass tattoo now.
Superpowers.
Yeah, In the Army, they taught us to squat and put your heels together. So if you did get hit, it was like
rubber
arc through your heels or something, so it wouldn't burn all the way up. And I have no idea if that actually worked, but I know they made us stand out in this field for like 3 hours with our heels together, and after about 10 minutes, it really started to suck. And anyway.
Did anybody get hit?
No, it wasn't even any lightning. They just made us do it.
It's hard.
This is a normal day.
I think in schools for tornado training, we should make the kids go in the fetal position in front of their lockers for 3 hours a day. It's like, you guys are going to know what to do in tornadoes. And they're just like, but we live in Montana. And I don't care.
Well, I mean, I've seen a fireball lighting, like when it flies, like it looks like a bowl.
Like a Hadouken?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like float and then flow out of the window one time.
The ball lightning.
Yeah, lightning.
The ball lightning is totally a thing.
It's kind of creepy. It's like, what is that?
Yeah, it's gnarly because it's ball lightning is actually what like ghost finders and shit, when they see orbs and they say they're spirits, it's actually just ball lightning.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually Google translated ball lightning from Russian as a fireball. That's why I said fireball.
Yeah.
And I was like, is it what whiskey means?
Yes, fireball actually means ball lightning.
Right.
Oh man, fireball's terrible. I'm not a fan of fireball.
No, I mean,
it's like
if
jet fuel.
If I want Christmas cinnamony breath.
Christmas cinnamony breath. And if you want a sweeter version of fireball, you get the Jack Daniel's cinnamon. Yeah. I'm actually not sponsored by any of these brands, so do not come after me.
It's 21 and up.
Yeah, 21 and up. Don't drink, kids. You guys got new livers and stuff. Keep them.
Yeah, give it to Arti.
Yes, give all your alcohol that you may receive in the mail from your grandmother at age 13 to Arti.
Yeah.
We will drop the address in the description. Just mail it over to us.
My grandma used to send me alcohol when I was a kid. I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's hilarious. So same grandmother that taught me about
how to show your boobs.
Yes, how to show my boobs. She would also, she was real big into recycling, especially for Christmas.
Good.
So because like you get presents and they're in different boxes and everything, but she would use her boxes of things she just bought. So you'd be in Christmas and you'd be stoked and you see a box and you're shaking it up, and I'm a kid. And then, all your family's around, and then you tear open the box, and it's like, oh, you got me a box of 50 insulin caplets. Thank you very much.
Open it.
And she's like, just open the box. And you open the box, and it's something cool. Or, or one time it was a small box, and it was like a cigarette carton. So you open it up, and I'm like 12, and there's like this cigarette carton, but you go in there, and it's like a pair of socks. That
is very repurposing. Of her.
Yeah, exactly. Why make a bunch of trash if you don't have to?
I like it.
Well, man, so where in kind of a wrapping, do you see like the future of your welding business, and what do you want it to be? And I'm not going to be cliche with the 5-year goal, but where Where would you like it to go, especially because it's a new thing?
You know, I haven't really thought that far ahead yet. Right now, I'm still kind of mostly paying attention to what I can do with it, not so much like where am I going to go with it. So,
all right, well, check this out. So, in a sense of like, without too much thinking, something you think would be cool could happen. What would that be? Like, make a piece, like make like a piece that's in downtown Houston, big metal piece, or like what do you?
Oh wow, I wouldn't even know where to begin with something like that. I think.
Like what would be cool? Like what would be a like kind of like a dream job, and a job meaning like commissioned by.
If I could make something that got put up downtown in Galveston that everybody got to see, I don't know, something that left my mark for Galveston. I probably feel like that would be like a hard to beat career moment. Everything there would be downhill from there unless some other piece of art sold for a whole lot of money and I could finally have my beach house with stilts or whatever. But for the moment, I feel like, anything work-wise I can do for the beautification of our already beautiful city, and something that people will look at and be like, that's right. Like that memorial they put up for the trumpet guy, I forget his name.
I just recently saw that. Yeah,
Pacos.
Yeah, because he would play a
Reveille.
Was it the Stork Club?
Yeah,
I think that was the restaurant.
Yeah, it was upstairs, pretty much. Yeah,
and he'd come out and play Star Spangled Banner or something. He played something on trumpet.
Yeah,
it was really cool. I only saw it once when my dad first moved here in 2013.
Okay.
But at that point, I know his health was pretty bad. But I was in town visiting for the weekend from Houston, and I was out just skating around downtown, and then I saw tourists and everybody just stopped right there, and veterans had their hats off and stuff, and I didn't know.
It's neat to see people get all. I mean, I think the guy still does it.
I mean, the guy passed away, but there was someone who does it instead of him. At least I've seen it a few times. I'm not sure if it's like often as it was.
Does someone like lives up there, or someone comes up there to do just to play it, that's really cool, man. That they got a plaque and a little statue for him, because that's awesome, man. I think
maybe you should start doing some historical plaques.
I mean, I don't know that I want to. I mean, whatever it is, I don't know that I would want to do a memorial because it's so like but making something like the turtles, those things are awesome.
Funeral stuff.
Funeral turtles.
Actually, like
you have to work on that, like a goth turtle, emo turtles.
Emo turtle. This
emo turtle. If you could make a turtle with like a little side-swiped hair, covering like one of his eyes.
Yeah. Mom, it's not a face.
I want to be soup today.
He's like, I just want to be a stew.
Yeah.
But making something, I don't know, I think that would be something that I would really be proud of as far as my art was concerned. But beyond that, who knows?
I think you should keep grinding on that, man. Keep
definitely gonna.
Yeah, man. Just keep up with what you're doing, man. You're doing something good, and especially if right now it's the future, isn't quite clear. Just be looking out for it. Stay optimistic. You know what I mean?
Well, if I could say thanks to a couple of people, etc. They've got some of my art hanging up. They're amazing
shout
food.
Everybody out. Shout it out.
Sharky's got some of my stuff in there. Definitely go check them out. I'm trying to do some work with Devlyn the Deep, but they're my neighbors, and they got real good beers. So everybody else at Stu Garden's come to me and asked me for pieces, and I really appreciate everybody that's come to me and supported and been kind, and I'm still kind of learning. And so when people that I respect artistically come and say, "Wow, this is neat," it blows my mind. So
man, that's the feel right there, man. Especially if people keep hitting you up, man. Just keep going piece by piece, and like if you stay with that, bro, it'll gradually increase, man. Because people have friends, they got friends, they got friends, they got friends, and then I would say, man, just grind on that, and let me know what's going on with that with the gallery, man. And we'll do something with that. Even if you just quickly need to just fill up the walls with something, man. I always have stuff. So
I think that's our goal, is to try to do local artists that's a little different. We're going to be the Attaway Gallery.
I mean, that's what it's always been to me, man. I always liked when Pete would hit me up for shows, and it was always something like obscene.
Yeah, I'm really excited to work with Pete.
Well, not obscene, but it's like cool, yeah, man. Like Pete's a cool guy, and but that's one of the things I remembered every time I'd come to Galveston to visit my dad, like I'd end up going to one of their shows or something over there. And it was always something crazy, like some kind of cool show or
and the food. Yeah, always cook.
Yeah, and the food, man. Pete is a beast. Pete's actually lined up for an episode. We'll be talking to him.
Good.
Soon. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about some food. Yeah, man. Yeah, because let's get everybody in talking about art. Art, food is art.
He does art. I mean, he's got some wicked ass paintings.
Dude,
up there.
He's a well-rounded dude, man. And it's funny how I met Pete. Pete and I actually have quite a few mutual friends out in Houston.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I didn't know this. And actually, the first time I met him, I actually met his sister first because I did some shoes for her. And the way that happened was my grandmother. She was buying some shoes. It's my grandmother. I guess that'd be like step grandmother, but she was buying some shoes for her nieces. And she went to Journeys. She bought some blanks because I was gonna do some shoes for them, custom shoes. The cashier was like, oh, what are you getting these for? And she was talking about, oh, my grandson does these drawings, and so I ended up doing shoes for him, and then she was gonna come to Galveston to pick him up. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, just let me know where you're at. But then I saw just weirdly on like a story, I think it was like Snapchat or something. It was over at Senpai's, and I was like, oh, it's my boy Pete's place, blah blah blah. And she goes, oh, it's my brother, and I'm like,
far out.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, cool. So I finally met Pete.
All right,
and then I met him, and then like a couple days after that, I went to Houston. It's my friend Kennedy and Nitty's house, Grime Lords. They're actually gonna be on a show too.
Cool.
But I was seeing one of their music videos, and they're like, "Yeah, man, can we show you our new song, our new video?" I was like, "Yeah, totally." And I just meet these guys, and they turn it on. Literally, the first scene of the video, it's them standing with Pete eating tacos at Avant, and I was like, "What the hell, man?"
Yeah, he's everywhere.
Like he's popping up everywhere, and then whenever he was on the Travel Channel, I was sitting with some people, and I was
like a prisoner.
Dude, yeah, man. Wearing all orange. Right, yeah. He's wearing an orange jumpsuit, man. No, but I was sitting with some friends, and I was talking about, yeah, man. I was talking about this guy Pete and Senpai's and this and that. And then no shit, like I look over at the TV and the Bruise Brothers Travel Channel episode is on, and I'm like, that's Pete on TV, and they're like, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, that's the guy I was just talking to you about. He's on TV right now, and we're at some random restaurant, man, and it was super funny, dude. Like that dude's all over the place. He's funny. It's gonna be a fun show. Well, it's cool, man. You're working on something to do with that spot, man. It's a great place.
No, he's brilliant, and we both got some ideas, and we're trying to stay motivated to just get the goal and see what happens. Like I have no idea if it's gonna work out, but
that's the best part, though.
We're just gonna go make it work, and if it doesn't, we'll figure something else out.
Just have fun. Hell yeah, man. Well, man, since a big part of the show is to, especially because you're actually in this category, for the people that are maybe looking for something they want to do as an artist, or maybe they have a hobby they have already, or maybe they haven't even discovered they want to do something yet. Do you have anything you would say to encourage them to pursue that path?
Don't be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
If you find something that makes you happy, just keep going with it. And I made a lot of mistakes. I've thrown a lot of things away. I think any person that's ever gotten really good has trashed a lot of stuff. So don't let the little things stop you from whatever medium is got you going at night. What goes on in your head, and what can't you stop thinking about until you make it. And then if you figure that out, do it. And you might be surprised at where it'll go from there. I mean, I had no idea anybody was going to care all. I didn't even know it wasn't that available. I mean, it's just, you got to go with it. And you'd be surprised. Sometimes being hungry will help you figure things out.
I would say sometimes it's the push you need. Yeah. Sometimes it's it.
But yeah, whatever it is, you never know. You might be a keyboard typist or whatever it is, and then find out that you make amazing video games and you never knew it before. So, if it makes you happy or smile and you can't stop thinking about it, then go get it.
Cool. All right, man. Well, appreciate you coming in, man.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll definitely have you on again too, man.
I'm excited.
Anytime. We're gonna keep everybody in. The usual. Like, subscribe, leave a positive comment. If you'd like to hear more of Arti's chewing, just let us know. Drop a comment.
He might start his own channel.
He might start his own channel. It's if anyone's into ASMR, you can go over to artisplayhouse.com And he'll chew any food for you. He actually, like Evan and I do commission work. He does commission food chewing.
Commission chewing.
And for a price, he'll speak to you in Russian.
The Russian chewing is a little bit extra. If you wanted me to wear a tracksuit while I'm chewing.
Adidas.
All right. Well, everyone, have a great day. Thank y'all for coming in. Thank you, Arti and Evan.
You're very welcome, man. Appreciate it.
And then we also got Stephanie over here. She had
fact checking.
She actually gave me a fact. In closing, quick little fun fact about the man who used to play the trumpet. The reason he played is because he promised his friend who died in Vietnam he'd play the song that he played. Do you know what song it was?
I believe it's Reveille.
Yeah.
Well, he promised his friend who died in Vietnam that he'd play that song every day, and just a memory of him. And he did that for 40 years until he died. So
Reveille's in the morning. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's it's military. Reveille's in the morning. Taps is at night.
Yeah, he was playing taps. That's the word.
Word.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. Well, we'll leave you on that inspirational note. Go out striving to be the best artist you can be. We'll
Thank you,
catch
sir.
next time. All right.